Good evening, everybody. Einstein once proved that all energy in the universe is constant. It can neither be created nor destroyed. So what happens to the energy when we die? If it can't be destroyed, it must then, according to Dr. Einstein, be transformed in some way. This new transformation, could it be ghosts? You may not believe it, but ghosts are actually all around us. Even though we cannot see them, they're always trying to communicate with the living. I'm here today to share with you some of the research I've come across with ghosts, and also share with you some of the common ways, actually the most common way, ghosts try to communicate with the living. After one speech, I do not expect to convince such a crowd of non-believers that ghosts exist. At the very least, if you still leave here not convinced, I only hope to have broadened your ideology about ghosts and open, if ever so slightly, that door of possibility. I will start off by defining ghosts, with a brief overview of paranormal theories that substitute as ghosts, 3 common different forms of ghost, if you will. I'll also define electronic voice phenomenon, also known as EVP, and share with you some real-life EVPs caught by a very reputable ghost hunting company. Without further ado, what is a ghost? A ghost is a spirit or shade of a dead person believed to haunt people and our previous habitats/locations. The spirit remains in a living being form, if you will, strongly attached to the living realm by some form of emotional connection. That's what theorists believe, if you will. Often ghosts do not realize they are in fact dead. Sometimes they play out the events that led up to their death over and over and over in a constant, continuous cycle. Other ghosts, in fact, actually can interact with the living, which is kind of cool. Another form is poltergeist. In German, poltergeist basically means noisy ghost. It can be dependent on a certain individual or a group of individuals. They usually make the biggest impact on physical objects. When you see the objects flying across the room in some videos, or if maybe you've experienced it, that's what is determined to be a poltergeist. They tend to be temporary. In some instances, they can come and they can go just like that. The most common in adolescent females, if you will, the person if they're connected via psychic extension, and they tend to be mischievous and like to play pranks on people. I like to have some fun, you can't blame them. Shadow people is another form of a ghost. They're a ghost-like spirit that looks actually like a black shadow. You can't see through it, which kind of makes it interesting there. They're usually very tall, either 7 foot, or they're actually very short. This is what evidence is caught. They're seen wearing a dark trench coat, maybe a black jacket, a top hat, extremely fast, almost like lightning. They're usually very silent. They have mass to them, and they seem to defy the common laws of physics. Now that those 3 forms of ghost are defined, let's look at some of the common ways ghosts try to communicate with the living, and listen to a few of the 100% non-tamper-with EVP evidence that was gathered by this reputable ghost hunting company. It took a lot of research, but I was able to get 2 of them. 2 relatively clear ones for you guys to listen to, because most EVPs, as you all know, they have a lot of white noise in the back and you cannot hear them. Let's define EVP if you guys do not know what an EVP is. EVP is the hearing of unexplained voices during playback of a recording device made up of usually a little box, almost like a hand recorder, if you will. Here is a playback of an EVP that was captured back in 2002. It was an old house with no known violent history in it. You'll hear some white noise, and you'll hear a woman asking for help. I hope you caught that. Like I said before, there's a lot of static in the background. Sorry about that. This one, you might be able to hear a little more. I'm not going to tell you what's in it, but maybe you'll be able to pick it up a little more clearer than the last one. Sorry for the delay. More delay. Sorry.
Can you say hello? Can you say hello?
In that last one, it was a lot more clearer. That last one was taken in a church. And what was caught was a ghost. After she said, "Can you say hello?" It said, "God, go with God." Played it twice. Hopefully you caught it. If not, I spilled it. Those were two very clear ones I caught. Like I said, you'll find a lot of static ones online. So here I am. I briefly explained to you the three theories of ghosts, if you will. You have ghost, poltergeist, and shadow people. I've also shown you what an EVP is, defined it, and also given you 2 examples of EVPs that I found through this company, this ghost hunting company. I've given you a very small taste of ghosts and ghost hunters, but wouldn't you like to believe, after you die, that there is something out there? Think about that. Without further ado, thank you guys so much, and thank you for listening to my presentation.